All right, Tigers, here we go. Podcast for Thursday. I'm going to do some double shifts. Note you got a couple warm-ups here, Thursday, Friday. Make sure you have those ready to go so that we're good and organized, and we'll talk about next week as we get a little bit closer. Okay? So just a quick review. The importance of being able to identify price and quantity has some good real-world efforts. Okay, so here's a problem. It talks about drug use by teenagers. Hypotheses, not hypostases. Sorry. Have emerged. So, one says, reduced police efforts have caused increased the availability of drugs on the street. Well, because of that government policy, you're going to see supply curve move out. And why is this relevant? Is that the price of drugs is going to go down, right? There's a supply curve move out. That's a terrible line. Right. So the price is going to move down and the quantity is going to move out. I didn't draw it all in there, but it's there, right? Cutbacks in drug awareness and education programs have decreased the awareness of dangers of drug use and drug addiction. Well, what that's going to do, guys, is that's going to move the demand curve out. Because people are like, oh, the drugs are okay, not going to hurt me. And notice what happens to price and quantity. So it's very important for us to know what's happening equilibrium-wise. And I know it's purple, but it's okay. Here, when prices go down, you can understand the rationale. It's either a lack of people are not demanding drugs, or there's a new supplier in town. If the price goes up, something's happened to a supplier, or maybe there's more of a demand because of some of that time. So changes in price, guys, and quantity help identify where we need to go with some of these things. Okay. So what we're going to run into and determine it, okay, is say that demand for sports cars fell at the same time as technology improved. Well, when you draw this graph, okay, all right, so I'm going to draw it over here, right? It's in gray, but that's okay. All right, there's our graph. There's supply, there's demand, right? Okay, now here's the shift. Okay, now, demand for sports cars fell. Okay, so the demand is going to move in, right? And that production technology improved, so now it's going to move out. And what you have here is, and I'll use red. Here was our initial equilibrium price and quantity. Okay, now in orange, here's our new price. So we know for a fact that the price has gone down. The problem is, look, the quantities are basically stacked on each other. So what that means is we just don't know what's going to happen in the quantity. So the key for one of these double shifters, whenever you get, okay, you see at the same time, if you see the word and up here, you right, type it up here. If you see the word and I always list it as and, so X is going to happen and Y is going to happen. Well, then you guys know it's a double shifter, and then you know that one of the two will be indeterminate. You just can't tell with what it is. So when you get one of these, the key is to draw the graphs. And I hope you understand what I'm saying here, that the gap between the supply and demand curves are similar isn't the right word, okay, are the same, so that it is easy to tell. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Don't draw a big gap for your demand curve and then a skinny gap for your supply curve. It'll be really hard to tell which one is which. All right, let's do this one here. Okay, why is gas so expensive? Right, what's happening? Demand. Okay, for big cars. Let's do this in blue. Right. Right, demand for big cars. Demand is going to increase, right? Why is gas so expensive? It looks to me like supply is small. Something, there's some issues going on there. So try and draw the gap as close as you can. Okay, label your curves. I forgot to do that the first time, I apologize. D1 and then S1, right? But now, when you look, we're doing this in red, right? You can tell there's a big change in price, right? It's wrong. Now, it might not be directly on top. That's pretty close, right? But there's no change in the quantity, but you see a massive change in price, right? So you would say the price goes up, quantity is indeterminate. The symbol for indeterminate, I have to freehand this right now, okay? It's in yellow. Oh, that's a gross yellow color. Here we go. Let's do poop brown, okay? The symbol for indeterminate is a sideways 8, okay? Or you can do, the other one that some people do is, they do this one, okay? So if it's indeterminate, it's 2 arrows. Okay, you just can't tell, right? All right, last one. In the diagram above, which of the following will explain the shift in the demand curve to D2? So demand curve is moving out. Supply curve is moving, in. Okay? So notice, in terms of price, okay, we need to figure out what's going to happen to price. Let's do this in gray. Right? We know the price is going to go up, and we know the quantity is going to be indeterminate. Okay, I know it's not directly on, but just it's right next to it. It's indeterminate, right? What's going to raise prices? Okay, so we need to move the supply curve in, demand curve out. There has been a poor orange harvest, and medical research has determined orange juice is a prime cause of acne. Well, that's demand going to move in because that's taste and preferences. So A is out. Okay, consumer incomes have increased. That'll move the demand curve out. And many orange groves are being sold to condominium developers. That'll move the supply curve in. Good. So it's possibly B. Price of grape juice has fallen. Nope, demand curve would move in. So that's out. Farmers have switched to growing oranges that are less susceptible to disease. Okay, it's a change of technology. That'll move the supply curve out. Okay. Producers have found an inexpensive way of extracting more juice from oranges. That moves the supply curve out. So the correct answer is B, right here. Okay. Again, the key is to focus on price and quantity. If you have any questions, hit me up. Okay. Hope you have a great day. Go Tigers.